There it is, the game that started it all back in 1997. What to move on to now? There it is, the game that every non-Sonic fan likes to throw under the bus. And in the end, the difference truly was night and day. There it is, one of the most infamously hard NES games to ever be released. And in the end, it truly wasn't as hard as we thought it was. There it is, Treyarch's first true masterpiece. Well, although the online was temporary, at least the memories are forever. There it is. The port of this PC classic that, I'll be honest, I didn't know existed until I just saw it in a game store and decided, why not? And in the end, it turned out to be a pretty good option if you couldn't play it anywhere else. Now, if only the sequel got the same treatment, but oh well. There it is, the Soviet Union's last-ditch attempt to brainwash the youth of America. Welp, in the end, the Soviets may have failed in trying to brainwash any Americans, but they did succeed in making a whole bunch of money. So much so that they actually managed to extend their lifespan by 2 more years. Go USSR. And that's upside down. Whatever. There it is, Sonic's big jump into 3D, as well as a whole new console generation. It's just too bad that he didn't do it with something new. No, it is not worth it to go out and buy a Saturn just to play its version of Sonic 3D Blast. Wow, I never thought I'd see the day, but here it is. Yes, this was worth waiting 26 years for. There it is, the sequel, or I guess spiritual successor, to Battle for Bikini Bottom that we all waited literally 20 years for. Well, was it worth the wait? Let's find out. No, this game unfortunately was not worth the 20-year wait. There it is. What could have been the best Mega Man. And in the end, it really sucks that such a small piece of this game managed to spread out and taint the rest of it. Alright, it's time to talk about this eternal arcade classic. And in the end, although I may not personally have the highest regard for this game, I still cannot deny its legacy, impact, and longevity. There it is, the Geometry Wars game that was released to the Nintendo crowd so they could finally see what they were missing out on. And despite this title having more content than the original game, it's unfortunate that the controller options have hindered its enjoyment factor. There it is, the remake of the best SpongeBob game ever made. Well, in the end, this remake could have been a whole lot better, but at the same time, I'm just happy that it exists. There it is, the most important first-person shooter of all time. So, yeah, this is still a great shooter that earned its place in history, and is still great to come back to even after all these years later. There it is, my personal second most disappointing Ghostbusters game. You know, I started this review saying that this game was very disappointing, but the more I played it, the more I talked about it, I realized something. It truly does suck. Right, it's time to take a trip out of my comfort zone. This is a great game, but unfortunately it's just not a game for me. Oh wow, this show actually had a game released at one point. And unfortunately, there's nothing really else to say about this game. It's just really boring. There it is, the Simpsons game that got overshadowed by Hit and Run. Well, I guess that answers the question of why this game was overshadowed. There it is, the last Geometry Wars game. It's kind of sad, honestly. So yeah, great game to go out on. But it just makes me miss this series even more replaying it. There it is. Yet another game I don't have the proper box for. But hold on. Through the magic power of editing. Now see, isn't that much better? No? Whatever. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. There it is. Arguably the best Terminator game. Really sucks that this game went so far downhill at the end. But hey, that's just how it is. Black Ops 2, arguably the best game in the Call of Duty series. But unfortunately, I am not here to discuss the game as a whole today. Instead, I am here to only talk about one part of it. A very infamous part of it. There it is. The game that many fans of this series says was unnecessary. There it is, the most divisive classic Sonic game, as well as one of the most bizarre. Yup, right up there with Shadow the Hedgehog and his pump-action SMG. There it is, the anticlimactic end to the classic Call of Duty trilogy. There it is, a game that I don't have a proper box for. But hold on, through the magic of editing... Much better. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. There it is. This last SpongeBob game made by Heavy Iron. Was it a good one to go out on? Let's find out. There it is, what is often considered one of the best, if not the best, Sonic game ever made. It's too bad I always hated it. Well, now that we have this, we have no use for you. Bye-bye. Well, this is definitely a game that exists. Let's get this, let's just get this over with. There it is, the Dead by Daylight killer. There it is, the greatest basketball video game of all time. Smart.